The last 10 years have been a good down payment. We've started with getting more companies to raise capital and more institutions, but it's not nearly enough. We're still really overseeing a cottage industry. There are estimates from the Patient Capital Review that we need an extra £6+ billion a year to go into small companies. Where's it going to come from? Because it doesn't exist today. We need to crowd in now, not just private investors who are coming through crowdfunding platforms, but large institutional investors and pension funds. So the opportunity for us is to embrace innovation in technology, embrace all the new entrepreneurial startups, and get the people on the sidelines, the big pension funds and the big institutions, to actually put their hands in their pocket and to actively support small companies. With that liquidity, we will see businesses scale, and that really is the big prize, to take the startups in Britain and turn them into global successful scale-ups.
I think over the last decade, the big theme for private fundraising is what's happened with interest rates. So negative interest rates have meant very little return for anyone in any investor class other than equities, and that's meant the appetite for private companies has been on the rise from various sources of capital. So I think new sources of capital for private companies is about not just the family office, the high net worth investor, it's crowdfunding, it's potential ICOs. The opportunities are very broad ranging, plus you have a lot of institutions that largely did blue chip public market investing, asset allocating to the private market. So a lot of pool of capital there, a lot of different options, really important to get the absolute right one for you that matches with your vision for your business.
Well, the next decade, we truly believe is going to be dominated by data and handling the data properly, because the amount of data that's being created and stored in the last 10 years and 5 years is unseen before. So being able to handle the data, organize it, and make decisions based on that data in a very informed way is going to be the biggest disruption in lending in the next 10 years. That's going to be very helpful for scaling businesses, because we're going to have enough information to allow us to lend more in a more informed basis at a cheaper cost for the entrepreneurs. And I think that's highly disruptive. That's a way that is going to allow them to not have only venture capital and private equity firms that require a high return, but also traditional lenders. We are going to be able to be lending at a much lower cost of the funding.
So corporate venturing will have a huge impact on growth and on capital moving forward, simply because corporates are under extreme pressure. They are going through a period of change that is unprecedented, and it's turbulent for them at this stage because of the digital revolution. Corporates are thinking about new ways of investing in innovation that they don't see inside their organization, and the scale-up and startup economy is a very, very viable route for them. So I see a lot more money going into that channel over the next 5, 7, 10 years, and in fact it'll become a symbiotic relationship between the startup and the corporate moving forward. Startups and scale-ups, they've got, the big advantage they have is that they're super ambitious, and they're bold. They do a lot of things that large corporations fear themselves, and when they have the right capabilities and the right resources, they can really go places that many corporates really balk at, and that, I think that is one of the biggest benefits. So access to markets, access to new customers, access to capabilities, technology or otherwise, the route to that market is much, much faster when you're collaborating with a big corporate, or a mid-sized corporate for that matter.
SMEs are the lifeblood of the British economy. There are 5.7 million SMEs, so most people work in a small company. Many of those are employing less than 5 people, so they're creating a livelihood. That's tremendously important. There are a smaller subset, 20, 30,000, that have the potential to be global companies. That can create significant employment opportunities, that will drive exports, that will drive investment, that will drive innovation. And as a society, given the changes in business, given the fact that the largest companies in the world today didn't exist 20 years ago, that trend is going to continue. So we as a country need to get behind innovation. We need to promote more investment in science and technology. We need to promote entrepreneurialism, and that all starts with small companies. If we can really sort of catalyze what's happened in the last 10 years and build on that in the next 10 years, I think the future is very bright.